A reading from the book of Revelation, chapter 13. Then I saw a beast emerge from the sea. It had 10 horns and 7 heads, and on the horns 10 diadems, and on its heads blasphemous names. The beast that I saw was like a leopard, with paws like a bear, and a mouth like a lion's mouth. The dragon handed over to this beast its own power and throne and great authority. I saw that one of its heads seemed to have had a fatal wound, but that this deadly injury had healed. And the whole world had marveled and followed the beast. They worshipped the dragon because it had given the beast its authority. And they worshipped the beast, saying, "Who can compare with the beast? Who can fight against it?" The beast was allowed to mouth its boasts and blasphemies and to be active for 42 months. And it mouthed its blasphemies against God, against his name, his heavenly tent, and all those who were dwelling in heaven. It was allowed to make war against the saints and conquer them, and given power over every race, people, language, and nation. And all people of the world will worship it, that is, everybody whose name has not been written down since the foundation of the world in the book of life of the Lamb that was sacrificed. Let anyone who can hear listen. Anyone who is for captivity, to captivity shall go. Anyone who is to be killed by the sword shall be killed. Such is the perseverance and faith of the saints. The false prophet as the slave of the beast. Then I saw a second beast rising from the ground. It had 2 horns, like a lamb, but sounded like a dragon. This second beast exercises all the power of the first beast on its behalf, making the world and all its inhabitants worship the first beast, whose deadly injury had healed. And it performs great signs, even to calling down fire from heaven unto the earth while people watch. It leads astray the inhabitants of the world through the miracles which it was allowed to do in the presence of the first beast, telling them to put up a statue in honor of the beast that had been wounded by the sword and had come to life. It was allowed to give breath to the statue, so that the statue of the beast was able to speak, and to have anyone who refused to worship the statue of the beast put to death. It compels everyone, small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to be branded on the right hand or on the forehead, so that no one can buy or sell who does not have the name of the beast or the number of its name. there is need for wisdom here. Anyone clever may calculate the number of the beast. It is the number of a person, and its number is 666. The companions of the Lamb, the word of the Lord. A reading from the book of Revelation, chapter 14, the companions of the Lamb. And I looked and saw the Lamb standing on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 people, with his name and his Father's name written on their foreheads. I heard a sound from heaven like the sound of many waters, or a great thunderclap. The sound I heard was like the sound of harpists playing their harps. There before the throne they are singing a new hymn in the presence of the 4 living creatures and the elders, and no one could learn the hymn except the 144,000 who had been redeemed from the world. These are the ones who have kept their virginity and not been defiled with women. They follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They, out of all people, have been redeemed as the first fruits for God and for the Lamb. No lie was found in their mouths, and they are blameless. Angels announce the day of judgment. Then I saw another angel flying in mid-heaven with an eternal gospel to proclaim to those who live on the earth, to every nation, race, language, and tribe. He was crying in a loud voice, "Fear God and give him glory, because the hour of his judgment has come. And worship him who made heaven and earth and sea and the springs of water." A second angel followed him, calling, "Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great, which made all nations drink from the wine of the wrath of her fornication." A third angel followed them, crying in a loud voice, "Anyone who worships the beast and its statue, or accepts a mark on forehead or hand, will also be made to drink from the wine of God's fury, poured unmixed into his cup of wrath, and will be tortured in the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb, and the smoke of their torture will rise forever and ever. Those who worship the beast or its statue, or accept branding with its name, will have no respite day or night. Such is the perseverance of the saints who keep the commandments of God and faith in Jesus. Then I heard a voice from heaven say to me, "Write down, 'Blessed are those who from now on die in the Lord.' Indeed, says the Spirit, now they can have rest from their work, since their good deeds follow them." The harvest and vintage of the Gentiles. Then I looked and saw a white cloud, and seated upon it, one like a son of man, with a gold crown on his head and a sharp sickle in his hand. Then another angel came out of the sanctuary and cried out in a loud voice to the one seated upon the cloud, "Put in your sickle and reap, for harvest time has come, and the harvest of the earth is ripe." Then the one seated upon the cloud set his sickle to work on the earth, and the harvest of earth was reaped. Another angel came out of the temple in heaven, and he too had a sharp sickle. And another angel, who has authority over the fire, came out from the altar and cried out in a loud voice to the one with the sharp sickle, "Put in your sharp sickle and harvest the bunches from the vine of the earth, for its grapes are ripe." So the angel set his sickle to work on the earth and harvested the whole vintage of the earth and threw it into the great winepress of God's wrath. And the winepress outside the city was trodden, and blood came out of the winepress as high as a horse's bridle for more than 300 kilometers. The word of the Lord.